Spiky bits.
Hi guys, we're here at round 1 of the silver black bracket at Nova Open 2013, and I drew my unwitting opponent, Kenny Boucher. So Kenny's playing Blood Angels today, as you can see here. He chose to leave 2 Storm Ravens in reserve, one of them holding a Furiosa Dreadnought, Terminators, Mephiston, and a Librarian. Oh, and Corbulu as well, Superman. He also has a Razorback with a small squad with a Flamer, and the Razorback has a Heavy Flamer as well in reserve also. So he's going to be coming on against some stiff Talon Eldar opposition here, as you can kind of see by the my deployment of the board here. I got some Warp Spiders up in front, a couple of Wave Serpents with Die Avengers, a Riptide with a little bit of a screen there, Farseer. Then we got some broadsides and stuff over here, as well as Dark Reapers on the hill with the Swiss Army Commando, Swiss Army Commander, and over here he's just kind of hanging out, trying to stay away from me. So it's night fight first turn, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the top of my turn 1, basically just shuffle around some of my stuff, try to get a line of sight to some of the stuff over there. It didn't work so well, so just kind of consolidated some positions, see what happens. Okay, well, Kenny's turn, just pretty much spread out some of these guys right here, and just going to wait for his reserves to come on, I guess. Okay, so my turn, I just kind of moved some stuff around and try to get some cover saves, and I got that +1 stealth bubble from the Farseer there, so he could pop that and maybe help his boys out if some shooting comes on. I killed 1 Assault Marine, hooray! So Kenny rolled for all of his reserves, so they're going to come on for his turn, so we're going to see something here in a second. Alright, bottom of turn 2, Kenny came on, he's kind of playing like a little bitch, I think. Just kind of hanging out in the back here.
We're going flat out.
Oh, you're going to come closer now? Alright, that's cool. So he's going flat out. He's doing something.
These guys are going to run. Who's shooting face?
Blood Angels don't shoot. Alright, so it is the top of 3. Kind of moved up my firing line a little bit to try to get some range on some of his stuff, but it didn't do too much. I kind of blocked myself out of line of sight right there on accident with the Riptide, but it happens. I did blow up the Razorback, and the dude's bailed out. And that's pretty much it for top of 3, so we'll see where he goes. Okay, so on the bottom of 3, Kenny has finally played like a Blood Angels player and moved something into an offensive attack position. He managed to kill one of my broadsides as well with a fury of Laz and Melta weaponry. So we'll see, they're good now, but now he's kind of spreading his stuff out, and going to see what happens for turn 4. Okay, so Kenny was rewarded for playing like a Blood Angel by me blowing up his Storm Raven. The guys fell out of the sky, caused a couple wounds, did a couple damage with my gun line here, and the Furiosa stun, which is super helpful. I had to flat out the Serpents to get him out of charge range, and that's pretty much it. Just kind of did some maneuvering and things like that. Now he's coming on from reserves for his turn. Okay, so bottom of 4, Kenny brought that Storm Raven on like you saw in the last video. Ran some stuff, moved some stuff, took some shots at my Dark Reapers, had to go to ground and lost a few, but the X-Shark's still alive, I guess. And that's pretty much it, so he's continuing his implacable advance across the board. Okay, so I managed to bring down the next Storm Raven, but there's another problem. There's a Mephiston hiding behind a bunker. And as you can tell, I couldn't see him with anything. So, also another problem was Corbulu was just kind of walking up the table, taking a bunch of firepower from pretty much everything here. So this is going to be coming up on the bottom of 5, and we'll kind of see what happens. Okay, so finally the Tau line was reached, and as you can see, there's been some casualties, but that's okay. We're undaunted. So it looks like we're going to try to get some fire on those guys in the open and whittle down the squad and see how it goes. So, also Mephiston is in here, so he's just chilling, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so top of what? I guess it's 6. Top of 6. Tried to do some damage, but Corbulu held the line over here. Whittled him down a couple termies, but unfortunately not so much. I just kind of spread out to try to block off some angles and such. Definitely some good rolling, some good 5s rolls, and some clutch Deny the Witches over here. And tried to shoot down some squads and make them break, but unfortunately I was unable to convert there. So that's pretty much it. Kenny's going to line up some assaults, and we'll see if it goes to 7. All right, so we're back. It didn't go to. We just went ahead and decided to wrap it up because we're, best case scenario, it really wasn't happening for us. And, worst case or best case, I lost by 1, so we're just gonna go with that. But hero of the day, Mephiston, being a scoring unit, hanging out in here, holding the objective. That is some sort of open piece of terrain there for some reason. It's on this table and it's in the middle, and apparently people can get into it and just hide out from all of that. But that's the way the terrain is, so that's the way it is. Also, not this being hammer and anvil and going that way instead of this way, he was able to come on and do laps in the backfield while I couldn't get to him. So if it had happened the other way, it would have been another story. So basically what happened was he has 2, I have 2, we both have line breaker. So what basically it comes down to is the extra point for this objective right here, which puts it over the top in the primary category. So
Mephiston became scoring.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think I said that right. Yeah, but Mephiston rolled the Warlord trait to be scoring at the beginning, so clearly that was on the mind. So there he is, hero of the game, just hanging out playing Xbox in his underground bunker there. And also another hero of the game was Korbulu over here, pretty much soaking up all the fire for the whole army's advance, pretty much across 24 inches of open ground for the most part. So it was pretty interesting game there. Like I said, to win this you have to be tactical. Kenny had to play, like a bitch basically, but it's smart. I just said it was smart. Get off my nuts. But it was a smart play the way he did it. But that's how you got to win with Blood Angels in 6.
Well, only when you play against. Well, we'll talk about the crap.
So that's pretty much it. So as you can see here, that's. Oh yeah. So here's the other side.
See my perspective of the game. Guys hiding out. And Mephiston is actually hiding in his little bunker.
Yep.
That's his terrace. That's his private balcony, and you can see his Xbox in there.
Alright, so pretty much what happened was Kenny got me by 1 victory point or
1 mission point.
Whatever they're called, I don't know. So, but first I want everybody to notice how I tower over my opponent. I'm just throwing it out. Anyway. So let's talk about your tactics in this game.
Man, just demasculated me all game.
That's all I got. I mean, look at you.
The hammer and anvil deployment is what kept me in the game against the Tal'Dar shooting. Being able to come super shallow in off the short edge, kind of like coming shallow, actually be out of range of like 95% of his firepower, and then like as soon as that was done, like get out, I just back off the table, and I fed them the Terminators though. I kept them on, pushed them forward, shot them up because I needed to push something, but Mephiston got it. Like as soon as they came on, went off. And Mephiston rolled the Warlord trait to be scoring, so
that was pretty huge.
It was super. That's 1 point right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that was all good play. I mean, all the way around. Korbulu basically leading the Terminator squad across.
It's like he's the tip of the spear.
Yeah,
he absorbed with no exaggeration 60 wounds.
I mean, it's just amazing what Korbulu does now. I'm glad he only has 2 wounds because it's like 97% that he wouldn't even wound him to begin with. It's like he's like a fate we were booked. It's like crazy. The terrain being in there and not being able to get to Mephiston was kind of huge too.
Huge chunks of line of sight blocking terrain, which in my opinion is like would rebalance the game if everyone played on that terrain all the time. Because then, he finds a lot of the units he took when they can't see, half the field become, until you got 500 points. Man, this unit only got to shoot 1 time. Like so, in a battle, if every event had. And this is, what is it, the alternate terrain?
No, we did alternate day 1, so this is standard.
So we didn't play this terrain yesterday. This terrain and all these tables in the championship, now in the championship brackets, I'd say 35% of the table has line of sight blocking capability.
Right. This was a little unique that it was like a bunker, and it was like pretty much like almost like 360 line of sight blocking. Unless you got literally.
It was like
180 on it.
It's like 180 degrees of blocking.
Yeah, unless you got up to the middle of the table and could look, basically like normal ways, you couldn't even see in the bunker.
So that was clutch.
Yeah.
Being able to stay in there, rolling the Warlord trait to be scoring. coming in shallow, staying out of range, getting knife fight turn one, like all these factors come together to see the Blood Angels win by a point.
I mean, it was a good game. I mean, 1 point, that's
clutch.
It's always a good game, so I'm okay with it.
Thanks for watching this video report.
Spiky Bits.